it again. This is insane. From a lost position to a draw position and eventually a Hikaru win.
Yeah, at the very least, now that we're in the bullet, it feels a little bit more normal that that's happening. Because in the blitz, you're just under the impression that because there's more time on the clock, there's no way that it should be happening. In bullet, it genuinely is tough to navigate small advantages. So it makes sense.
And Hikaru immediately, with his vintage knight sacrifice, he's done it on the f4 square, this time with the white pieces on the f5 square. If that knight was taken, there was a checkmate with queen g3, queen g7. And of course, pawn takes pawn also in the air there. So could not have been picked up. And Hikaru with a massive advantage. That bishop on h6, unchallenged. The pawn on d6 falling. I don't see Liem coming back in this one.
Yeah, you need to free the bishop here. Yeah, if you don't play h4, I don't know how the bishop escapes. And this looks like a great position for Hikaru once again. Really solid pawn structure. He can double the rooks. He can play a4, a5, bring the knight. Looks great.
He's setting up the f4 break. He goes for it. And Liem trying to get his own rook active. Bishop f2 would give up the knight on c3, so he has to fall back to d2.
Yeah, and bishop e1 is an idea now too. Might just be played here, although he starts with the pawn because of the f6 pawn loose. There is bishop f4 as an idea. A lot of potential tactics here, Tanya.
Everything hanging with bishop f4. The knight on c3, you could pick up the knight on d7, the rook on e5 hanging. And Hikaru instead goes for the safer option. Bishop to e1, this is the other thing he does, right? In bullet, he doesn't want to spend that much time on calculation. He might go for it. Just for fun.
Right. Yeah, I could definitely see that. You can also repeat a couple more times. No, he goes with rook d3. I think he found one of the better continuations there because the reality was bishop f4 and bishop e1 were just not leading anywhere.
Which means that he's still playing for a win in this position, even though he doesn't need to. He can very well just repeat and keep that big advantage, but this is bullet. Hikaru wants to win every game. e5, rook takes pawn, a big threat.
Yeah, and there was no pawn takes with check because the king would drop to g1. And so, honestly, a really well-played line by Le Quang, who, in that moment, I think outcalculated Hikaru.
Yeah, amazing. But again, Hikaru just puts the reset. He doesn't let it affect him. He's bringing on the moves fast and quick. Well, you can't take the c2 pawn because the rook is defended. Bishop takes pawn, runs into knight f4, picking up the rook.
Yeah, we see this exchange anyway. It's opposite bishops. Very good drawing chances for Hikaru. And knight f3 does look like a good one because if you get rid of the bishop on h4, that king is going to beeline for the pawns on the other side.
This is actually completely